Hello, everybody. This is a special train edition of Marvin and Tim. Marvin, say hello.
Hello.
We were both saying we look like hobos before we went live on this. So this is a very special edition. Um, Also, shout out to the commenter who said that my hellos at the beginning of the videos were terrifying and I need to stop doing them the other day. I saw that. That was a particularly good comment. Um, Marv and I are back because there was a really great comment. I'm just trying to pull it up here. A really great comment from a viewer the other day that we again want to kind of look at. This pertained to the video I did about Neville saying, you can manifest what you want within 3 days, which is a very loaded comment. I'm going to actually read it again. I should read it again, Marvin, don't you think? The 3-day
Absolutely. If both of them, because I think there were two comments.
Yeah, I'll read what Neville said, and then we'll get to the where did I do this? Well, then we'll get to the comments. Anyway, Neville, these days and age, Marv and I were just talking before that so much content these days is like instant manifestations. And obviously, if you know Marvin, my stuff, we're all about the slow burn manifestations where like stuff is probably not going to happen for you instantly or in 3 days or in 3 weeks or even 3 months. And sometimes, guys, not even in 3 years, if it's like a big business thing or some serious life goal. But judging from the manifesting community, you would think that our common sense viewpoint about this stuff is wrong. And we're here to just, say it's not wrong. But one reason that there's a lot of confusion is that Neville did say stuff like, you can manifest what you want within 3 days. We can't pretend he didn't say it when he did say it.
Right.
Obviously, a lot of the case studies that Neville gave, the manifestations take much longer than 3 days. They take weeks or months, sometimes years. The stories that he talks about, like in The Power of Awareness or The Law and the Promise, right? They're not 3-day manifestations. But Neville did say, as I mentioned in that video the other day, the Bible gives it as 3 days. The duration is 3 days for response in this world. If I would now assume I am what I want to be, and if I'm faithful to it and walk as though I were, the very longest stretch given for its realization is 3 days. If there is something tonight that you really want in this world, then experience it in imagination. What you would experience in the flesh were you to realize your goal, and deafen your ears and blind your eyes to all that denies the reality of your assumption. If you do this, you would be able to tell me before I leave this city of Los Angeles that you've realized what was only a wish when you came here. So there's Neville saying, if you really want something, experience it in imagination, and you will experience it in flesh in 3 days. So there's that. And we just want to read these comments in context of that quote because they were very good comments. Anything you want to add to that quote of Neville's before we begin?
Just, I'd say keywords. He said, deafening your ears and blinding your eyes.
Yep.
Those are the keywords that stood out to me, because this is the reason why most people can't, they don't see what they want to see, is because they have a very hard time doing those two things, deafening their ears and blinding their eyes to whatever their 3D is telling them. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. I think that that's huge. I think, and actually the follow-up video I did was talking about how Neville was speaking again in 5 lessons, and he wrote about this in The Search, about like that he was meditating on the perfect state. And, I made the point, Neville meditated, felt this perfect state and had a vision, but it's not like Neville then, after having this experience, was able to heal people like Jesus was, by going up to them and just touching them or anything like that. Actually, walking in the state for 3 days is incredibly hard. But anyway, let's read these comments because this all ties together. The first comment was, biggest mistake the Neville people make, in my opinion, is that they expect instant changes by thinking specific thoughts in a short period of time. Yet they then resort to the same people they were. The SAT stuff can work, I think, to bolster who you are. Then that could help. But if you fall asleep with it and wake up the same yearner, then you're back to square one. This is the opposite to the teachings of a book like Science of Getting Rich, which I love and is in audiobook form in its entirety on Maggie's channel, which insists you walk around a new person every day. But this is difficult for most, I have found personally, because the reward center of the mind isn't fulfilled in any type of concrete way when there is no evidence of results. Someone must pursue what they want, or at least be good in mind, as there will be 99% of the time a high level of doubt. So I think the common advice in this situation would be to continue your passions with a reasonable amount of faith, hope, expectation. And when something small changes in your favor, you start to embody the person you want to be and therefore expect more good to come. Other than that, we can await quote unquote miracles because they do come at certain levels, but to yearn directly and fool ourselves into thinking we can be the same and expect groundbreaking results is utter foolishness. Sorry for the long-winded response. I said, no, not long-winded, I agree. So that's a really good comment, just speaking about how people do SATs, people make things so dramatic in the Neville community, and yet they wake up the same person as they were before the next day a lot of the time. And the SATs, they really weren't doing SATs correctly, the way that Neville truly suggested, which is when you do SATs, you will be a changed person, right? Yeah, so that was an interesting comment. What were your thoughts on that, Marv? I know we want to get to the one after this, which we really like as well.
No, I just the thing that comes to my mind is the Bible verse of, I think it was Paul in the Bible, telling people that you must die daily. And that's essentially what this person kind of touched on in this paragraph, as well as, you know, what a Neville would touch on is it's we have to die daily. We have to die to whoever the old person was every day we wake up, because it's not an easy thing to do, as we've always touched on and said. So yeah, I would just say that.
Yeah, that's not a quote that people like to mention quite as much in the mainstream community. I feel like that's such a great quote, and one that Neville loved to allude to, and a lot of the other New Thought teachers did too. That renewal, that death and renewal daily, that ain't no playing around, folks. In true SATs, I think the way Neville advocated for it was to do that in the same way where when he said you can manifest what you want within 3 days, or some of these people like Emmett Fox said, the golden key, practice the golden key, think of God instead. When you truly think of God instead, whatever the problem is, it will disappear. And he usually meant like disappear like quickly, like within 3 days. It's because you've died of the old self. You've died of the old self and been reborn. That ain't no joke. That's not just some simple technique you can do. And then, yeah, there was a comment from Ryan responding to this as well. This is a really great comment. Very interesting. He said, yes, that's very important. Yet the whole 3 days speech permanently turned me off from Neville. It's just comically outside reality. Small things like a little bit of money, a new date, or a new job, yes, but a major desire, and Neville didn't clarify, won't happen. Even the wealthiest people in the world took years of planning, hard work, strategy, and setbacks to get where they are. If you want some mystical experience, perhaps Neville is okay, but real world tangible results, no. I'd stay far away from him. You can't blame everything on Reddit and YouTube, since Neville himself made claims that no wealthy person who had a dream turned reality would follow. I said extremely valid points that the community doesn't even want to begin to acknowledge. So Marv, that's a hell of a, that's, you know, pretty critical comment by Ryan there. I don't think either of us completely agrees with it, but he makes some wonderful points there in that and what he said.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely makes some valid points. I mean, at the end of the day, most people that, you know, have developed some sort of wealth or whatever you want to call it, it took an immense amount of work. You know, it took time. A lot of times it didn't happen overnight. as much as we want to think it happens overnight. And a lot of times I notice with people is the quicker to climb, the quicker to fall. You know, a lot of people aren't really prepared for the amount of success or the amount of money they come into. And I liken that with SP stuff. A lot of people want their SP back, but when they get their SP, they don't know what to do. They fumble it, they lose them again. You know, so I always tell people you should be happy that you don't have your specific person right now because you're still getting in that state of where you're going to be able to be the person to keep, you know what I mean, your specific person. Because for most people, the harsh reality is what comes fast to you also goes out fast. You know, you win a lot of money, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. You get in a relationship quickly, you're probably going to lose that relationship quickly. That's why you see those people out there that get into relationship after relationship after relationship. They lose a relationship. Next thing you know, they got a new dude or a new woman the next week. And you're like, damn, you just broke up. How in the hell did that happen? You know what I'm saying? And then they keep going through the same thing. Got to break up with that person. Next thing you know, in a month, 2 months, they in a new relationship. Like, damn, like give yourself some time to actually figure out and slow down. And a lot of people don't want to admit that, but you know, the turtle, a lot of times, in my opinion, the turtle wins. You know, the turtle wins. The person that um does the work on themselves is the person that keeps usually whatever it is that they manifest, and it doesn't go out quickly. And the person that takes the time to work on themselves, they usually have a much better time at dealing with problems when problems arrive in the relationship or in the business or in the whatever. You know, these people tend to be better with pressure, you know, better in certain traumatic or dramatic situations, you know. And I don't think people understand something that I don't think people understand really with manifesting. When people think manifesting is just getting what you want, but to me, I don't think people understand the responsibility that you have to deal with once you finally get what you want. So people say, "Oh, I want to have a boyfriend," or "Oh, I want to be married." Okay, do you understand that that manifestation comes with responsibilities? Now you are married. Now you are living in the same house with this person. Now you have kids. Now you have to take care of those kids. Like people have this elementary idea of manifestation that, oh, I'm going to get my manifestation. Everything is going to be all peachy and smooth. And but it's in my mind, I'm telling them no, it's not. You're not just going to get $5 million or 10, 20, $30 million or whatever the number is for you, and then you're not going to have anything that comes with that. You're not just going to get your SP and then there's not going to be no potential test or mishaps with that. This stuff doesn't work that way. And so people, you have to be, as that saying goes, be careful what you wish for. Because when you get whatever it is that you want or you think you want, you now have to deal with whatever potential problems can occur.
That's some bitter medicine, Marv.
Robitussin.
Robitussin time.
Yeah, Robitussin for all of y'all.
Yeah, I mean, and this is again why we always talk so much about going, not necessarily thinking about your goals externally as much as how you want to feel. Like a sense of peace, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of health, a sense of abundance in your life. Those feelings, generally speaking, are what most of you want more than the actual SP or $1 million or dream car or job or whatever. That feeling. Because as Marv said, if you get that external thing, but don't change how you feel on the inside, you're going to basically feel the same way you feel now, perhaps worse, except you're going to have to deal with this external thing you now have, which is tough. Marv, I want to just go over, listen, YouTube's tough these days. We all do crazy clickbait titles. All right. So we're not picking on people specifically here, except for maybe Sammy at the end. Marv and I were just joking before we made this video. Like, so, you know, what we're just talking about basically is slow burn manifestations, right? Which is what Marv and I like to utilize in our own lives and how we like to work with people. If you want to work with us, by the way, our relationship SP questionnaire is below. You'll be able to click and submit a questionnaire and then get a free consultation with us. But here, look at some of these titles. Did these sound like, you know, slow burn titles?
No.
This, how to exit the, I don't know if you guys can, I think you guys can see this. How to exit the matrix and be rich as fuck today. That sounds like a 3-year plan. Five Little Ducks. No, just kidding. That was one of my daughter's videos from earlier. Oh, here. Oh, all right. Oh, there's Alex with actually a sober video. Don't look at Alex's videos if you want instant manifestations. There's too much truth there. Oh, this is it. Genevieve had one. Even Joseph, who we love, he says this literally changes everything. So even the great Joseph Rodriguez is having to make clickbait video titles. And listen, Marvin and I are too. But here, I wanted to show you Genevieve, Manifest with Genevieve. She created a truly instant manifestation. It's all about instant stuff. And then let's end with Sammy tonight. These are all videos that are brand new, by the way, guys. This just goes to show you how instant coffee, instant popcorn we are right now. Here's Sammy's video. Sammy's video popped up yesterday for me, her new one. If I can find it here, where the heck is it? Videos. So good. Manifest anything instantly. Just perfect. Sammy's the best. Manifest anything instantly. Yeah, fuck it. Just anything you want, manifest it instantly. Yeah, so that's the state of the manifesting community online. And that's not your real state, guys. Keep on, drinking some of that bitter medicine, bitter herbs, and you'll feel better and your life will improve. Don't you think, Marv?
Yeah, I think your life will improve for sure. But I kind of also want to give a little bit more bitter medicine to some people, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
This has to do with, people that have filled out the questionnaire and stuff like that, and getting back to us in a sense. And I see these things with people, these correlations I draw from people who, fill out stuff and, they don't get back and they need to be followed up with all the time. And, they don't want to be consistent and, they say this and that. This is the exact reason why many of you guys have SP problems. No disrespect. This type of stuff is the exact reason why many people struggle with manifesting in general in your life, is because, you guys aren't getting back, responding, making empty promises, empty guarantees. And then
here's our questionnaire, by the way, guys, if you guys haven't filled this out.
And then when I see this, it's like I put 2 and 2 together and I make 4, and it doesn't shock me why some of you guys are struggling or don't get what you want, because the basic fundamentals of getting back to people, or keeping your word, or whatever the case may be, it's like you can't even do that. So when your SP shows up, whatever shows up, I mean, I'm just not surprised or shocked at why a lot of you guys don't have what you want to have. So I just want to, again, bitter medicine, but it's the truth. If you can't even follow up or get back to people, or people think, oh, a questionnaire is too long, or oh, it's that lazy way of thinking potentially. I mean, all of this stuff, it ties in and it goes hand in hand in me. I just
agree.
Yeah.
If you fill out a questionnaire, or first of all, click on a questionnaire and don't fill it out, or fill out a questionnaire and then are not motivated enough to actually schedule a free consultation afterwards, or don't respond to an email,
or say you're going to work with us,
or say you're going to work with us and then ghost us.
Yeah,
that ain't the kind of stuff that lends itself to a healthy romantic relationship. So just saying, that's some real bitter medicine to end with. Manifest whatever you want instantly. I'm going to probably call this video that. Piggyback on Sammy for that one.
I'm going to switch my video title from yesterday so I can get more views.
Instant manifestations with Marvin Daniels. Until next time, guys, it's been fun. If you want to work with us or have a serious question and actually want honest to goodness communication with real human beings, you know where to find us. Until next time, everybody, enjoy and be good.